All right, in this video, we're going to cover some of the physical positions that we use and stances that we use to support our martial arts skills, and we're going to cover some of your basic blocks and strikes. Okay, so we've already covered attention position, right, and ready position. And when we talk about a position, those are more about things that we do in a preparatory way. And then when we talk about a stance, we typically talk about a foundational body structure that's going to allow you to control your balance to support the techniques that you're doing around that stance. So the first stance we're going to teach is called horse stance or horse riding stance. You're going to step out about 1.5 times shoulder width, drop your weight down so that your center of gravity lowers and your legs are loaded. So my legs are kind of like a spring, and I want to feel that spring compress so that I know there's energy built into that spring, so that if I need to use that energy, I can call on it. And then we bring the hands all the way back to a low chamber position. Okay, so we have 2 chamber positions just to give you an overview of that. In our kickboxing system, our chambering position is up high by the face. It's a guard position. And then in traditional martial arts, we do a low chamber position. And the low chamber position has a lot of applications that I'll explain as we go through classes. At first, it looks a little crazy, but just trust me, it's got a purpose, and we'll get there as we get there. Okay, the first skill we're going to work on from this horse stance is a middle punch. The middle punch is going to shoot straight forward. Notice that I'm keeping my elbow close to my body. My hand is still inverted as the punch starts out. And then as I push the punch forward, I rotate at the end. When I get to the end of the punch, I want to focus the strike on the index finger and middle finger knuckles on the first row of knuckles here on my hand. Okay. And then I'm going to bring that right back. And then one more time, I'm going to punch out. Okay. And then from here, we're going to do what's called a reverse punch. This hand's going to recover as the other hand comes out. So there's a natural push-pull, and you'll notice there's a natural rotation of my body around my spine. And you'll notice that first one leg engages and pushes, so I'm calling on the energy in one of the springs to help shove my hand out. And then when I come back, I call on the energy of the other, right? So that I'm actually using that stance to help drive power through my body into the weapon, which is my knuckles. Okay, so right hand punch all the way out. And then we're going to do a left hand punch. So push and pull, and then switch, and switch, and switch. Okay, and back to ready. Now, a couple of things. One, you probably heard me breathe out as I exert it or as I do the strike. We want to make that part of what we do all the time for a couple of reasons. One, it's very easy to get hyper focused on what you're doing. Hold your breath, then your lips turn all blue and you fall over and pass out. That's terrible. And two, your body rhythm tunes to your breathing. So when it's sleepy time, you take long, slow breaths, and after a while, everything slows down, heart rate slows down, you take a nap, right? When I want to do something explosive, I want a quick, explosive breath. And as I shove that air out, I naturally tighten the muscles in my abdomen and I protect my inside. So, 2 things: I'm moving with quicker explosiveness, more explosiveness, and I'm also tightening the muscles in my core so that if I were to get struck in a self defense situation, I'm better protected because the muscles are engaged and doing their job. Okay. So, as you punch out, I want you to breathe out. And let me go back one step. I probably should have done this before, but just to give you, most everybody knows how to make a fist, but I always feel like it's important to reinforce that, right? When I make a fist, I'm going to curl the fingers down one at a time, joint by joint. Then I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to put it across the first 2 fingers. So essentially, I'm locking this part of my hand in place to make that nice and strong. And then when I strike, it's super important that I line that index finger knuckle up with the radius bone of my wrist, right? So that when I hit, there's no shear or give in the wrist, that any impact is passed through the wrist up into the bigger joints of the arm. And then when I punch, I actually leave my elbow a little bit soft, a little bit bent. It's not completely extended, so that any rebound off the strike is absorbed in the bigger joints of my body, so that I don't hurt the smaller joints. So that allows me to strike with a lot of power and also keep myself safe, right? In the long run, I don't want to do damage to myself training. I want to be able to take care of myself. That's part of why you train, right? Is to defend yourself. And we're defending ourselves against pretty much anything, right? So it's not just a fight situation. I also want to do things that support health. So let's go ahead and hit that horse stance one more time. Let's go through that fundamental. So from ready position, we'd step out to here. And then from there, horse stance, left leg casts away, 1.5 times shoulder width, come all the way back. Couple of things about my horse stance. My toes are lined up in the same direction of my center, right? So my toes are straight forward, my knees are out over my toes, so the knees are not buckled in, and my toes are not turned out like out to the sides. I'm tucking my toes in and I'm sitting my weight into my hips. So again, I'm back in that head, shoulders, hips, heels balance position. Okay, and then on the punch, shoot the hand out, rotate over. The tighter I keep my elbow to my body, the better my body weight is behind my punch. If I punch with my elbow out here, you can see the punch is kind of stranded. It's kind of all by itself. There's nothing behind it. And if I hit here, my shoulder gives a lot. Where if I punch here, you can see that my body is behind it. And if I hit, everything transfers back into my center. Okay, so push and pull, push and pull, go, go, go. Give me about 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. All right, put the hands away.